What was it, 10 hours ago? Less. 9 hours ago we saw each other. All right, today's Daf Chav Gimel. We're starting from the bottom of Chav Beis, Amud Beis. Okay, so yesterday we're discussing Rabbi Meir, who says that if a woman miscarries something that resembles an animal, she's tamei. Why? She didn't give birth to a human being. It's Xeris Shava. Xeris Shava, come here, Gershon, I have a present for you. In that bag, here. You sure?
I know what it is, right?
I didn't say it's a surprise, I said it's a present. Vayitzer. That's the Xeris Shava. It says Vayitzer twice. It says once by a human and once by an animal. And Memela have Xeris Shava to say that if you give birth to something that resembles an animal, it's considered a birth and the woman is tamei. Now, when it comes to Xeris Shava, we said these two words, there's three options. These two words are completely extra. And if they're completely extra, that gives us the strongest Xeris Shava possible. According to everybody, if I say Xeris Shava, when the two words are completely extra, the Torah didn't have to say Vayitzer, because it already said that Kadosh Baruch Hu created man, Vayivra. So a male is completely extra, then I cannot come up with a logical difference between the two words, or the two concepts. I can't come up with a logical difference between a human and an animal. There are a lot of logical differences, including logic itself. Might be a difference between an animal and a human. Right? Humans have logic, animals might not, whatever. Fine. That's if the Xeris Shava is mufna mishnei tzdadim, meaning both words are extra. What's the exact opposite of that? Xeris Shava loy mufna. None of these words, neither of these words are available, and you want to use Xeris Shava anyways. That would be a machloikis. Rabbi Shmuel would say, you cannot learn it at all. Don't even begin to learn it. And Rabbi Elazar would say, lemeidim u'meshivim, you could learn it, but guess what's going to happen if you say such a Xeris Shava? It's going to be refuted immediately, because there's always something that I could answer and make a difference between two different things. The issue that there is what about Xeris Shava that has one word? Mufna mitzad echad. If it has one word that's extra, let's say this Vayitzer was completely extra. What's the word? I can't say that. We'll leave that for the art scroll. And this Vayitzer is not superfluous. What happens in that case? So in that case, Rabbi Shmuel says, it's a perfect Xeris Shava. As strong as a Xeris Shava where both words are extra. If so, then what's the difference? There's no difference, according to him. If one word is extra, two words are extra, they're both the same. So then why did the Torah have to make two words extra? That's the Gemara's question. And according to Chachamim, if it only has one word extra, then I could learn it, but there's an easy way out of it. I could refute it with an easy nafkamina. So let's see inside. Zok Gemara. Mufna mishnei tzdadim divrei hakol lemeidim ve'meshivim. If it's extra from both psukim, then I learn Xeris Shava, but there's no way to refute it. Rabbi Shmuel ma'ika bei mufna mitzadecha lemufna mishnei tzdadim. If you look at this chart, Rabbi Shmuel says that tzadechad, if there's only one word, then I learned Xeris Shava and I cannot refute it. And everybody holds that in two words extra, I learned Xeris Shava and I cannot refute it. So then what's the difference? Says the Gemara, nafkamina dehechadeke mufna mitzadechad. So the Gemara's question is a little bit stronger than it says. It's not like, what is the difference? The Gemara's question is even stronger. Why did the Torah make two words extra? The Torah could have just said one extra word, and I would have had a strong Xeris Shava. That cannot be refuted. Says the Gemara, because if I have a choice, like in our Gemara, I have two Vayitzers, and they're both extra, they're both not necessary. And I can also learn another Gzeir Shava from Vayivra, but Vayivra, one of them is extra, one is not. I'd rather go with the Gzeir Shava that's stronger and has 2 extra words. Wow, Shalom Aleichem to one of our members from the night share, Givaldik. It's happening. The night and the day. Until now, we had the guys from the day going to the night. Now we have the night going to the day. It's beautiful. Rabbi Yossi Radinsky is a Magid Shir. Very good. Magid Shir in the Masifta and Magid Shir in Arzeh. And a Magid Shir in the Daf Yomi Bezer Hashem. Poor guy. Okay, he didn't know what he's getting himself into. We're holding Daf Chav Gimel with Aleph on the top. Ve'alfina moving Mishnei Tzdadim. Now, according to Rabbanon, the reason why it's extra, superfluous, on both psukim, you don't learn it from the one pasuk that has the one place that has one limud. Learn it from Vayitzer that has Shnei Zdadim. Rav Acha Reder Rav Masala B'Shmei Rabbi Elazar Lekula. Kol Gzeir Shava She'ena Mufna. We're going back to this chart, and this is the other sheet that we didn't say yet. Kol Gzeir Shava She'ena Mufna Kol Iker. Until now we said a Gzeir Shava that has 0 limudim, 0 words available for a limud. You just want to say that over here it says Vayitzer, let's say, and over here it says Vayitzer. The words match, but they're not extra. So we said up until now that according to Rabbi Shmuel, you cannot even begin to say Gzeir Shava like that. It doesn't start. He says no. Amekel. Kol Gzeir Shava she'ena mufna kol iker lemedim. I could say Gzeir Shava umeshivim. Is Rabbi Halpern here? He is? Because I saw today also. He came over to me the other day. There's a fundamental question here. We learned the other day. I forgot where it was. Maybe Daf Yotes, around Daf Yotes, that Gzeir Shava has to be given to you from Sinai. So then what's going on here? Welcome back, Hillel. So what's going on? We got it from Sinai, we didn't get it from Sinai. Could you learn Gzeir Shava with 0 limudim? Or you can learn Gzeir Shava with 0 limudim. Did Moshe Rabbeinu get it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Sinai or not? What's going on here? Messiah, yeah. So what's the Messiah? Therefore, the Shlosh says, and others discuss it, that exactly is the question. We know that something was going on. But the question is, what do we know? Sometimes we know that there's a Gzeir Shava in this parsha, but we don't know what the words are. Sometimes we know that there's words, we don't know how to use them. So that's the issue. We know, like in our sugya, we know that there's a Gzeir Shava between a human and something. It could be between a human and an animal, and a human and a fish. And we're trying to figure out, is it the Vayitzer or the Vayivra? There's something going on there. It's not that we made up a Gzeir Shava from scratch. That's what they say. That's how they explain. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand. Do we have a Messiah? We don't have a Messiah. You can't just make up a Gzeir Shava. And if you can't make up a Gzeir Shava, so then what's the question? We know what Moshe Rabbeinu got from HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Last answer to the Gemara,
yeah.
the page was that if you have one which is Mufna, which states nothing, why do we have such a thing? If we have one like that,
yes, better over the other one. Yeah.
But what you're saying is, if there is a halacha of Sinai, then
no, but exactly, we don't know what the words were. So you have a choice. Exactly. You know, Moshe Rabbeinu came down with the Gzeir Shava.
We know both Vayitza and
no, over there would be a question of a parsha versus a word. We know in the parsha of humans, there's a Gzeir Shava between something. I'm telling you, it's much better to go. The rule is, if you don't know what it is, go with something that's extra on both psukim. That's the rule. Right. In that case, in that particular case. Sometimes the halacha Mishmei Sinai is in words. That's what, I think it's the Shla. Anyways, there is a discussion.
They lost the Messiah. They didn't have the exact Messiah.
Right. Obviously, something got lost along the way. Mufna Mishnei, what?
They knew there was a Gzeir Shava, but they weren't sure which word.
Exactly. Exactly. Mufna Mishnei Zdadim Divrei HaKol Amedim B'Mishim. But that there's no question, as you see in this chart, if 2 words are extra according to everybody, you say Gzeir Shava, and there's absolutely no way to refute it. So now let's go here. In Rabbanon, you have Lemedim and Meshivim by, if there's one word. You have the same thing over here, Lemedim by Gzeir Shava Loy Mufna, Lemedim v'Meshivim. So then what's the difference if it has one extra word or no words? It's the same exact power. You could say it and you could refute it. Now, if you have the option of choosing a Gzeir Shava, one of them has an extra word, one of them doesn't, obviously jump with the one that has the extra word. Even though you can't refute either of them, you don't have a good pircha, might as well use the one that has the stronger Gzeir Shava. So you're telling me that because it's a Gzeir Shava mitzad echad, the fish and humans is a Gzeir Shava. We had the pasuk yesterday, vayivra, but it's not a good Gzeir Shava. It's only mufna mitzad echad, only has one word that's extra, not two. And therefore, what? I could refute it. But what's your refutation? Humans are the only living beings that become tamei when they're alive. You cannot make an animal tamei, and therefore, it makes sense that a woman who gives birth to some sort of form, she should become tamei, but not a fish because he doesn't have a good Gzeir Shava. Now, so we up until now we discussed what is the reasoning behind Reb Meir who says that a woman who gives birth to something that resembles an animal, she's tamei. She didn't give birth. We said it's a Gzeir Shava. Now we're going to have two more pshatim. That was until now. It says Yitzira, that's a Gzeir Shava. If a woman gives birth to something that resembles a mountain, I have the same Gzeir Shava. It says by a mountain, Shenemar Kini Yoitza Harim, Uvoyre Ruach. It says in Amos, where's Amos? In Ksuvim, it says that the word Yitzira next to the word mountain. What? Nevi'im. Okay. Yeah, not Ksuvim, but okay, the Gemara calls it Ksuvim. Omar le'ei, har mikom apelas. Even ikom apelas. A woman doesn't give birth to a mountain. She gives birth to maybe the shape of the mountain, but it's a stone. So it doesn't fit into the puzzle. How goes Shikri? Look at the next words. It says ruach. So if she miscarries a sack of air, she should be considered a true birth. It says vayivra likimus ha'adam, and it also says ubayir ruach. So we have a Gzeir Shava between ruach and adam. Maybe you'll say, but wait a minute, the word by ruach is not extra. But because the Torah could have said it all in one shot, why does it say uksiv bayir ruach? The reason why it says bayir ruach and it doesn't stick ruach together with harim is tells me that it's extra, and therefore I should have Gzeir Shava. The Gemara calls it Kabbalah. Sorry, not Ksubim. Fine. That's not a Gzeir Shava. To go from the Torah where it says Vayitzer es to Adam to Nevi'im, that's not a Gzeir Shava. Fine. The other day we learned Nevi'im to Nevi'im, but now we're learning Torah from Nevi'im. Ksuvim. Right. Iyov to Shir Shivim. What was the word over there? Shlochayach, something, okay. What's the reason that a woman who gives birth miscarries? A behemoth like something, she's tamei, hoyel veineim doimes kishaladam. Since their eyes are similar to humans, there's a similarity, so the tumah is similar also. It gives you tumah. A snake's pupil is round like a human. So I had a little bit of a problem. I don't see anybody talking about it. I always thought that a snake's pupil is elongated. In fact, why? Here. A venomous snake, his eyes are like this. But a non-venomous snake has round eyes. That's what I found. So maybe that's what the Gemara is talking about, non-venomous snakes. But many, many snakes don't have round pupils. But okay. What about fish? Rabbi, if I ask you right now, what shape pupil does a fish have? What would you say? Round? Okay.
If you eat Rosh Hashanah,
What?
if you eat Rosh Hashanah night at the table, and the fish head is around.
So, where's this? Look at Rashi, Dibra Maskell, Doimis L'Shaladam. Rabbi Yisai, Doimis L'Shaladam. Shocher Sheba'ayin, you got it? Shocher Sheba'ayin have a ogel b'behemo kishaladam, aval the dogim lav ogelhu. Fish don't have round pupils. Go figure. Some sort of fish that Rashi is talking about doesn't have round pupils. Not the one that we eat on Rosh Hashanah. Gefilte fish. Now, Rabbi Yisai, you're saying jokes now and learning. I don't know if you're allowed to say jokes and learning. It's today's sugya. Are you allowed to laugh during learning or not? Okay. And if you're going to say that if a woman miscarries a snake, she's tamei, listening nachash. So then why does the Mishnah say animal, kosher animal, bird, doesn't mention anything about snake? We have to be careful, because if the Mishnah would have mentioned nachash and not chaya, I would have thought only in a nachash. But maybe Chachamim admit to Rebbe Meir that if a woman miscarries a behem and a chaya, she's tamei. Because it says yitzira. If you remember in Masechtas Bechoros, it says that if a bechor has an eye, the shape of an eye of a human, it's a mum. It's such a mum that you could shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash and eat it. So you see that an animal doesn't have the eye shaped as a human. Says the Gemara, that's a mum, loikasha. The pupil is the same shape as a human. And that's what we're talking about. Since it's similar to a human in the pupil, then memela, it's mitama the mother betuma. Ha bitzira. This socket, I did a little research. In fact, it looks like a cow's socket is almost square. His eye, we don't care about his eye. What does his skeleton look like? The socket around his eye. That's a different shape than a human. And memela, that's a mum when it comes to bechar, because the socket is different. Where are animals' eyes? They're forward. Whereas fish, they're on the side of their head. Birds, they're on the side of the head. So, and again, since his eyes, the eyes of an animal are similar to that of a human, if a woman gives birth to something that resembles an animal, it's like a human, she's tamei. What about a bird? The Mishnah says a bird, she's also tamei. We're talking about a specific bird, which is translated to the Tinshemes and Yanshov. These are birds that scream at night, says Rashi. Any bird that looks like this, that his eyes are forward, like an owl, is like a human. And only this kind of bird is mitami a woman if it resembles that kind of bird. If she miscarries a pigeon, she's tar. If she miscarries an owl, because the eyes are on the side, miscarries something that looks like an owl, that is a problem. Reb Chanina makes a pshara. He says, I say that if a woman miscarries an animal, then she's tamei. All birds are like chachamim that she's tar. Now, what kind of birds are we talking about? If we're talking about an owl, what's the difference between a bird and a human? The bird, the owl, his eyes go forward like a human. So we're not talking about an owl, we're talking about other birds. So if so, it comes out, because Reb Chanina ben Athilas doesn't paskin like Reb Meir, and it has to be that Remeir argues on the other birds. So we have to stick in that when Reb Chanina ben Atigna is passing like Remeir, he passes like if a woman gives birth to behema, chaya, and an owl, you have to stick in the word owl. The halach is like Remeir. And Chachamim makes sense when she miscarries a bird, other birds. Because even Remeir admits to them that it's not considered Tumah. Why? Because the eyes are in the wrong place. They have no resemblance to humans. If a woman miscarries a bird, we should check out the bird. Now, what are you checking out here? Lemanti bodek. Lav l'divri Remeir. Now, it can't be that it goes according to Chachamim. Why? Because according to Chachamim, there is no bird in the world that makes a woman tamei. So why are you checking to see what kind of bird it is? It has to be that it's going according to Remeir. You need to check out what kind of bird. Because there are birds that are mitam the woman if they have eyes facing forwards, and there are birds that are not. That's why you have to check. So don't prove it from here. The Gemara wants to prove this concept that there's a difference between eyes facing forward and not. Says the Gemara, that's not a great raya, because I could say that according to Remeir, every single bird would be mitama a woman, and according to Chachamim, only the birds that resemble humans, like owls, are mitama, and therefore you have to do a bdika according to Chachamim what kind of bird it is. And what is the difference, Taka? If you look over here, you don't even have to look. But an owl, his face is flat like a human being. We don't have a snout. If you picture in your mind, the dog has a long snout. At the end of the snout, it has a nose and teeth and all these things. That's a weird kind of jaw compared to a human being. If you look at an owl, here, this is a bird. This is a jaw of a bird. Looks like a dog almost. And if you look at the jaw of an owl, it's flat like a human. So memela, that's why, since it resembles its skeleton, its jaw resembles that of a human, so it gives off tumah like a human.
What a fish.
Fish is not in the pasuk. We have Xer Shava, Yitzir.
Have 360 degrees vision, so they can have the eyes on the side.
Do they really have 360? They have a...
But not like humans where...
And it's very interesting that an owl could turn his head 360. I don't know if you ever saw an owl, but I had the opportunity to hold one, and they spin their head around completely. It's the weirdest thing. It's like you can't even imagine what you're looking at. All of a sudden, it just turns around completely like that. They have exactly the owl that has forward vision. Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave him the ability to spin his head around. He could not 360 but a 180. He could literally be facing the opposite direction. Without even trying. His head just spins on a thing. You never seen it?
Those who have the eyes on the side, they can still see.
I was just skiing in I forgot where it was, just recently with Jakey. And this woman comes over, she had this owl, puts it on your hand, massive, like it's literally this big. And it turns around. Anyway. Fine. Boy, Rabbi Sai.
By the way, that's at least God's problem.
What, that she's holding?
Giving birth to any of these things.
Good, you're going to be in for a lot of... So when I was prepared the daf in my living room. I have this thing that I like to learn in my house, so my kids should see me learning. But yesterday I had a big problem. My wife was not happy with me. I was learning, and I started laughing out loud, literally laughing out loud. I couldn't control myself. I thought it was the funniest sugi in the world. And then I realized why it was so funny. You have to, when I'm reading it, you have to picture in your mind how this works. Comes Rabbi Yirmiyah, and he asks Rabbi Zera a bam kasha. According to Remeir, who says that a woman who gives birth to an animal-looking thing, she miscarries an animal, is considered a viable vlad. In other words, it gives tumah as a human being, as if she gave birth to a human. So imagine, I'm imagining, I'm sitting there and learning, imagining she gave birth to a baby elephant, a small little elephant comes out, Mazel Tov. What does the father do? He immediately goes and he marries her off. He's Mikabel Kiddushin. He tricks his friend. He says, look, my wife just gave birth to a female. Would you like to marry my daughter? He says, Avad, I was always waiting to marry your daughter. And he accepts Kiddushin. Kiba boy vi Kiddushin mau. Says the Gemara, who cares? Now, once he's married to the elephant, could you marry the elephant sister? I was sitting there, mamish, I was rolling in my seat. So the Gemara, remember the Chaya? So you're telling me what, that this elephant is viable? It could actually live for a minute? Like, how is he Mikal Kiddushin?
His wife should marry her without seeing her first.
Right.
If she's alive, then you have a problem.
Right, of course. But I'm saying, we're saying that okay, step by step. First of all, could it survive? Now, if it can't survive, then you don't have a problem of a choisisha, because a choisisha is only when the two sisters are alive. Tosis points out there's other issues. What about a mother-in-law? Could I marry a mother-in-law? Could I marry the mother? What if somebody is over on Ish? Why did the Gemara bring Ish? So that's not a problem, because if she can't survive till 3 years old anyways, there's no Ish. What about Ritzicha? What about Revia? What about all sorts? There's a lot of different questions. But Rabbi Yirmiyah wanted to say something geschmack. He wanted, as we're going to see in a second. Motzi Shabbos, only this week, or one time, not only this week, but this week it happens to be, I'm going to be in Yerushalayim, so I don't think I'll make it back in time for the 6:30 shir. 6:30 could go all the way for 3 months. But this Motzi Shabbos, 7 o'clock, if you don't mind. You're going to go away, and you don't want to give this shir. Fine. I already asked you enough this Shabbos. By the way, is anybody interested in davening Vesikin tomorrow on Shabbos? It's 5:30. No, in my house. My father is coming. I'm ditching my father. I left Menachem with the problems. He has to lane. He has to organize the minyan, the whole thing. So, anyways, if somebody wants to be mishnata, v'shkoyach.
Come on, Mayor won't do it for you.
He is. 5:30 starts the minyan. It's very, very late. Should do it.
Wait, is there a Kiddush?
I'm not there, so I don't know. Probably, most likely not. We'll get there. Zokti Gemara, 15 minutes. So Rav says, it seems from Rav that this elephant is going to die immediately. It's not a viable animal. But why does Rameir say that she's tamei? Because there is something in South Africa called an elephant that lives. As long as the min of an elephant could live, so even though she just miscarried an elephant and it's not going to live more than a second, it's still considered a viable birth. Let's say a woman gave birth to a unicorn, and there's no such thing as a unicorn in South Africa, so she wouldn't become tamei. If it's a weird kind of creature, she wouldn't be tamei. The only reason you see, he got insulted, he's leaving, finished. So you see that it's not viable. So if it's not viable, what is Rabbi Yirmi even asking a funny question? Could you be Mekadesh? It's not a Gela Maisa. Yes, you can be Mekadesh her. You can marry your sister, because 3 minutes later she's going to be dead. Says the Gemara. He's trying to make him laugh. What's going on here? Reb Zera was very makbid. There's an isser in the Gemara Brachas that you shouldn't laugh. You shouldn't fill your mouth with schok pinu. Only when there's a base of Mikdash. So what? But at least smile. He tried to get him to smile. No, he's machmer and smile. Now, they say, the Aruch LaNer says, well, maybe the machlokes was, but if it's also to smile, so why was he trying to get him to smile? He held this also. But he held that in learning you should smile. It should be gishmak. You should laugh. So I'm done that. Anyways, Rashi says here, very interesting. It says, the last Rashi on the page, it says, all these tricks that Rabbi Yirmiyah tried to do, he was trying to make him laugh. Where's all the tricks? He only pulled off one trick, a choisisha. In all of Shas, In fact, in Baba Basra, they bring down in Baba Basra, Daf Chav Gimel, Rav Yirmiyah got thrown out of Beis Medrash because he asked a weird question. They took him and they threw him out. Says Rashi, even over there in Baba Basra, he tried to get him to laugh. He asked a weird question to just move him a little bit, and it didn't work. Fine. Zog to Gemara Gufa. So we just said the reason why Rameir holds that she gives birth to something that resembles an animal, she's tameh, because somewhere in the world that kind of animal could exist and is viable. We also learned we're talking about a bechar.
What about the expression that the word is supposed to do with simcha?
Simcha is one thing, laughing is another thing. You have to show, you can't laugh, giggle, and when simcha is in here. Simcha is not jumping on a van with loud music. Simcha is in here. That's the whole, yeah. So it's machlokes. Obviously, not everybody else. He was very, very strict about it. He was like the Catholic we see around walking around today. These guys you see Shalom Aleichem.
Go downstairs.
There's a guy, I'm not joking, in this base marriage, I never got him to laugh. I never got him to say hello to me. I'm not joking. Good morning, was herzach. I told him I'm a gronik. I said, what does the gra hold? You won't even talk to me because I'm a guy. A gronik guy doesn't count. Fine. Yeah, I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know.
It's not like Kraslav, where the people are dancing on the...
Sounding reality. Okay, fine. Zog Gemara. Yosef, we doing okay?
I was a bit worried, you're a bit early.
Okay, we have 13 minutes. So, if a woman gave birth to something, and she opened her uterus, there's a peter rechem, there's no opinion of ben. So what happens if a woman, now, benugea to Yerusha, it has to be the firstborn gets double portion. So, says the Gemara, if her first birth was something that resembled an animal or a bird, so Remeir would hold that the second guy, the real human that comes out, he gets 2 portions of Bechira. But he doesn't get opinion of Ben. Why? Because on the one hand, he's not the Peter Rechem. On the other hand, he's the first one that's available for the Yerusha, so Mamela he gets the Yerusha. The Gemara will explain a little bit more. Oh, right. The famous Rishis Oinai. Say Chachamim, no, he has to resemble a human being. And since the first birth didn't resemble a human being, it's not considered first birth. Vamapel sandal, this is tricky. Because if she gave birth to a sandal, Rashi explains, as the Gemara says over there, a sandal is really a human being that was a twin that got crushed by its twin. So that has, even though it has no form, it has a halacha of a child. So if the sandal came out first, oy shilya, oy shafir, merukam, so in other words, we have a human in there, some fetus. Either it came out like a developed embryo, but it's not human, it was just like starting to develop with the skin and everything, and the afterbirth. So in the afterbirth, we know there's always ain't shilya b'lei vlad, so there's a fetus in there. The second guy that comes out, he gets 2 portions, because the sandal that came out is the Peter Rechem. And if you're going to tell me that this animal, this thing that resembles an animal, could live, why is it that the second boy that comes out should get 2 portions of Nachla? The elephant came out last year, and that's the Bechor. I don't care if he lives. He could live, not live, that's not the point. When it comes to Bechor L'Nachla, when it comes to 2 portions, it has to be the one that the father mourns over and has a lot of no, that's in Vayetze, no? In Kiseitze, no? I don't know. Okay. Where's that? Ah, okay. Ramban in this week's parasha. Dvarim Chaf Aleph. Okay, Kiseitze, right, it's Kiseitze, I think. Misha Liboy Dava Allah, that's a change Liboy Dava. The father has to mourn. Now, father, he might be a little sad that he lost his elephant, but he's not going to sit and mourn over it like a human being. Boy, b'nei Rav Adar bar Abba ma'abai l'Remei Dom behema b'mei isha vlad ma'alyo. Rabbi say, if an animal comes out of a woman gives birth to something that looks like an animal. We had a shayla. Ruben told me not to show this. I'm gonna.
Show it anyway.
Should I show it anyways? Whoever doesn't want to look, don't look. He says no one's gonna want to see this. Here's an amazing picture, a real picture of an animal who gave birth to something that looks like a human being. You don't see? The face has a tsuras odom. No, it's a calf. It's a cow that has a weird looking face. Fine. Reuben said not to bring it, so I brought it.
So if woman gives birth to an animal that is
What?
has
We gotta go. L'may nafkamina l'shrui b'achila. So a cow gives birth to something that resembles a human. Can you eat it? Now, we know the halacha ben pekuah. If we shech the cow, and inside the cow there is a vlad, you're allowed to eat the vlad. What if the vlad looks like a human? I can resolve the question. If you shecht an animal and inside the animal was a pigeon, you're not allowed to eat it. So if inside the animal there's a human, you can't eat it. What's the connection? One of the things that we need is that you should have split hooves. Now, if an animal was born, the ben pekuah is born without a split hoof, but it has a hoof, you could eat it. But over here, a bird doesn't have hooves at all. So mainly you can't eat it. But a human being does have an ankle. It has some sort of a hoof. So it's not split. So maybe you should be able to eat it. Different sugi. We had that whole sugya. We had a sugya about it. But the point is that it's not... Look, hold on, time out. You're allowed to eat a bird. You're allowed to eat a bird, but not if it came out of a cow. Not if it came out of a cow. So even if you're right, you're allowed to eat human beings, and I don't recommend it, but not if it comes out of a cow. Yeah, we had the whole sugya. It needs to have a tzuras odom. Chachamim say that it has to look like a human. Let me ask you something before you look inside. If the body, what's the halach in this case? It has a body of a goat, but it looks like a human being. What's the halacha? No, Rabbi, what's the halacha? Quick! If somebody comes to you with such a shayla, you know what the answer is? The mother's tummy. Why? Because it's a human being. It has the face of a human. So hakol moedim gufay tayish upanav adam. If it looks like a human, then it's adam. Gufay adam upanav tayish. What if the whole body is that of a human, but its face is that of a goat? V'lo klum, it's nothing. I find this as a tremendous chiddush. Because Rameir says if a complete goat comes out of a woman, she's tummy. But if the face is a goat and the body is a human, according to Rameir, she's not tummy. Why? How do you explain that? Rameir says the whole body is a goat. A whole entire elephant is as if she gave birth to a human being and she's tummy. But if the whole body is human, 90% of the body, 90% of this thing is a human. But the face is different. No, not tummy. Why? Pashut. Because you need to have biminoi kayom. You have to have in Africa, this thing should exist. And in Africa, you don't have a half a human and half a face. So Mela, it's not Tomei, it's not a human. But if the whole thing is an elephant, the whole thing is a tayish, then Rameh would say Tomei. Le'nechleku says the Gemara, where's the machlokes? Elo shepanav adam v'nivra ba'ayin achas k'behema. His whole face is human. One eye is different. So remember these words. Rameir says it has to be that as long as some of it looks like a person, mitzuras adam, a little bit, that's the regular way of reading it. But Rashi is going to put in a little trick here in the next line. Again, Rameir says mitzuras adam. As long as a little bit of it is human, it's human, she gave birth to a human, and she's tamei. Kol tzuras adam. What does kol mean? Literally, all of the face, 100% of the face has to be human, and therefore, if one part of the face, the eye, is not human, she's not tamei. Okay, I have a brayz that says fakert. Hold on. Remeir oimer kol tzuras bechachomrim mitzuras. Over here, Rashi does something very interesting. If I didn't see Rashi, I would completely not learn the pshat like this. But Rashi says that in this brayz, the word kol doesn't mean all; it means any. And Reb Meir would say that if anything resembles a human being, tamei, the chachamim remember mitzuras. And over here is the nafkir between the brayso and what we said before. Mitzuras would mean half of the face. Before Chachamim said, if any of the face resembles an animal, it's 0. And now they say half of the face. Okay, listen, if you have a Messiah that's what it says, I'll give it to you. You can read it that way, I'll read it my way. Here, I have a picture. Over here you have the 5 areas that have to be human. He says, you have to have the forehead, the eyebrows, the eye, the cheek, and the chin. Whether it's on half of the face or the whole face, we'll see. It does not include the ears. The ears, that's why I even put it over here. The ears could be funny looking, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from human. So you can have a human being that has all the simanim, but has funny looking ears, has dog ears, still considered a human. Okay.
The nose doesn't matter, right?
Nose is not in there. You know what? The nose, I think, is very similar to dogs. If you look closely, a human nose, I don't know, whatever. 2 minutes. The eyebrows, and the eyes, and the cheeks, and the chin. What does kachas mean? On both sides of the face. Rava Omar, chaso. Rava says the name of chaso. Metzach. Now look what he says. Metzach is singular, fine. V'hagovim is singular. Before we said gvinim. Va'ayin. He doesn't say naim, one. In other words, Rav is saying only one side, like in this picture right over here, half. Half the face has to look like human. Va'aleh says, v'gabas hazakon, one half of the chin. Achi kulam ka'achas. V'loi pligi, says the Gemara. Hokamanda omar kol tzuras. The whole face has to be human. Hokamanda omar mitzuras, half the face has to be human. Meisvei, tzuras aparim shamru, afilu partzuf echad min partzufim. It says even if you have one out of these 5 simanim, partzuf echad would mean one of the 5 simanim. That's enough to make it human. Chutz min oizen, you don't need the ear. Lemeimer de bechad namisagi. So you're going to tell me that even one out of the 5 is enough? That one is going to ruin. Not one is enough. One different is ruin. Commando Omar called suras. Like the Manoma says, you need the entire face, 100%. And if you have one eye that looks like an animal, no good. You need not one of each. Like this picture, one of each. Omar Rava, Nivra ba'ayin achas. Does anybody want to see a picture of what it looks like if you're born with one eye?
Not right now.
No, not everybody wants to see it. Fine. So you don't have to look. Fine. Nivra ba'ayin achas if you're born with one eye or one thigh, minatzadi mitmeya. If it is on the side that's normal, like on the side over here, great. But if it's like in this picture, that is in the center, this is not human. And memela what? Not Tomei. Amarava, let's just finish the Tanur Rabbanu one more line. Amarava, Beshtoi Nakuv. If the esophagus has holes in it, Imoy Tmeya, why? Because Treifa Chaya, Treifa could live. But if it was born with a clogged up esophagus, it can never live. It's not human. The mother is Torah. Have a wonderful Shabbos. I'll see you back here, 7 o'clock, Motzei Shabbos.